Now, you like Daniel Greene, I like Daniel Greene, but sometimes Daniel Greene is very, very insufferable, hypocritical, and just plain stupid. So we'll begin on a high note with Wheel of Time and some interesting photos on what will lie ahead for WOT in September. It looks a lot better than season one. Are they giving too much away? They're giving a little bit away with the villains, but okay, small complaint. And I think we all know the general broad outline. If you have read the books, we're going to get more and more with Rand increasing his power, and Moraine should not be a big part of the story, but of course that's the books. They're not going to follow the books, so we'll have to wait and see. So it looks good. It looks fine. I am nervous because season one ended, well, catastrophically stupid and bad. So it's only upwards, I guess. I guess that's where we're going to leave it. Tentatively hopeful that season two will be not as big a train wreck as season one, I guess. Okay, but let's move on to the real meaty clickbait part, which is, of course, Patrick Rothfuss. And Daniel will fill us in on very quickly the controversial background as to why the new novella is not as good news as it should be for fans.
We also got a last-minute fantasy news update here from Patrick Rothfuss, where he took to his blog and Twitch to announce, no, not when the promised chapter that he raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for charity for will finally be released so long after the fact, but instead that he is going to be releasing a novella following Bast from the King Killer.
That is the general gist. Basically, Rothfuss did raise this money. He promised a chapter, and the chapter has still not been delivered. And yes, this is technically a new novella, so it is a King Killer Chronicle fiction, but technically it's been a short story. It was done before. So essentially this is like an augmented version of the short story. If you have read the short story, it will presumably have new elements, but it is essentially the short story, but just a lot longer from a new angle. Is it genuinely new? Yeah, it's a little dicey the way he's kind of putting it out there, like, new fiction. Well, kind of new fiction, kind of not new fiction. And of course, the main subject is here, should we forgive and forget? And although I disagree with Daniel a lot, I will agree with him that, yeah, Rothfuss has not really answered the fans on this question.
Which announced this, he really does seem like a good guy, but as someone who has pushed people towards backing his projects in the past and has then seen those people be severely disappointed and feel responsible for that, I absolutely will not be recommending anyone back anything from Rothfuss until it is either on shelves or previous projects that have been promised and not delivered on are completed. I just can't in good conscience recommend that responsibly.
Well, I did not contribute to Rothfuss. And I do think I have a Twitch thing, but I rarely ever use the Twitch. Once in a blue moon I'm on Twitch, so that's me. Daniel is a little bit different. That's him. So apparently he heard this news as it unfolded when Rothfuss made his announcement, but I'm a little differently. I'm not on Twitch as much as him. So I do find it a little hypocritical here because, yes, it's good he's standing up for the fans who gave money. But I do find Daniel a little weird, where on the one hand, he's all about the purity, I don't want my token, I don't want my Rothfuss ruined, and I'm on my Twitch and my YouTubes, and selling myself out. And I'm like, okay, alright, you can be over-commercialized and still be a fan, but I think he sometimes crosses the line, and his self-righteousness here with Patrick Rothfuss is a little much. It's a little hard to swallow. But I do agree with the basic gist that, yes, Rothfuss has not answered the question. Will this new novella be probably good? Seems so. It's going to have really great illustrations. Again, it is new fiction, somewhat, and it is good that Rothfuss is getting back to writing, and he is very talented. The title fits him. It's very creative. So overall, good news, but yes, there's still the issue of the missing chapter. He's not answered the question. I think it's perfectly legitimate for people to still ask, where is the missing chapter? Money was exchanged. The fans paid for it. They should be getting it. I mean, I guess the best case scenario is the new novella is basically a taste of the new novel proper, and he will end the trilogy and presumably do the reading before the real third novel is released. But again, don't hold your breath. Reluctantly agree with Daniel here that, yeah, Rothfuss is still really dodging the question and kind of gaslighting people. It's disappointing. He is a very great writer. But even great writers sometimes, yeah, they mess up badly, and it is what it is.